The UK has one of the toughest visitor visa processes in the world for Nigerian and Ghanaian applicants. The Home Office approves roughly 77% of global visitor visa applications, but for high scrutiny nationalities like ours, the rejection rate is significantly higher. If you've had a UK visa refused, or if you're about to apply for the first time and you want to make sure you don't become one of those statistics, this video is exactly what you need. I'm going to walk you through the top 5 reasons UK visitor visas get rejected, with real examples and specific fixes for every single one. By the end of this video, you'll know what UK visa officers are actually looking for and how to give it to them. Before we get started, I've put together a free UK visa document checklist you can download right now from the description below. It lists every document you need, category by category, so nothing gets missed. Grab that first. All right, let's get into the 5 reasons. Reason 1, weak financial evidence. This is the #1 reason UK applications from Nigeria and Ghana get refused. And the frustrating thing is, it's not always because the applicant doesn't have money, it's because the money they have doesn't tell the right story. Here's what the UK Home Office looks for: 6 months of consistent bank statements that show stable income coming in, reasonable expenses going out, and a balance that comfortably covers the cost of your trip. What kills applications? 3 things. First, sudden large deposits. If your account has been showing 200,000 naira a month for 6 months, and then suddenly 5 million naira appears 2 weeks before you apply, that's a red flag. Officers call this window dressing. They believe the money was borrowed just to look good on the statement. If you have large, legitimate funds, they need to be there consistently, or you need to explain exactly where they came from in writing. Second, bank statements that don't match your employment letter. If your letter says your monthly salary is 800,000 naira, but your bank shows only 400,000 naira in credits per month, the officer will question which is true. Your documents must be internally consistent. Third, submitting only the last 3 months. 6 months minimum, always. The fix? Submit 6 full months of statements, your last 3 payslips, your employer letter confirming salary, and if you're self-employed, your business registration, contracts, and tax returns. Let the officer see income coming from multiple angles. Reason 2, failing the genuine visitor test. Every UK visa applicant must pass what's called the genuine visitor test. The officer must believe 4 things about you: that you genuinely intend to leave the UK at the end of your visit, that you're not planning to live in the UK through repeated long stays, that your stated reason for visiting is real and permitted under the visitor rules, and that you can support yourself financially during the trip. This sounds simple, but the way many applicants fill in their forms, they accidentally signal the opposite. Here's a real scenario. Imagine you're a civil servant in Accra who wants to visit your sister in London for 2 weeks. In your application, you write visiting family as your reason, and that's it. No further detail. The officer sees Nigerian or Ghanaian applicant, family in the UK, short stay, not much explained. Their instinct says, this person might want to stay.
Now, contrast that with providing a letter from your employer confirming you have approved leave and a return date, evidence that you own property in Ghana, a travel itinerary showing your return flight, your sister's invitation letter plus her UK immigration status documents, and a personal cover letter explaining the visit in specific detail, where you'll go, what you'll do, when you return. Same visit, completely different application. The second one gets approved. The fix? Write a detailed cover letter, 1 to 2 pages, that explains your visit purpose, your itinerary, who you're staying with, and why you are definitely returning home. Pair it with strong ties evidence. Reason 3, weak ties to your home country. This is closely related to the genuine visitor test, but it deserves its own section because it's where so many applications fall apart, especially for younger applicants or those who are unmarried, renting rather than owning, and in early career jobs. The UK officer's question is, what is waiting for you at home that will bring you back? The stronger your answer to that question in document form, the more likely your approval. Strong ties include employment. A detailed employer letter, not just a one-liner. It should state your full name, job title, salary, start date, the leave you've been granted, and your expected return date. Signed and on company letterhead. Property ownership. If you own a home or land in Nigeria or Ghana, include the certificate of occupancy or land document. Even a tenancy agreement in your name shows you have a permanent base. Dependents. If you have children, a spouse, or elderly parents depending on you, document that. School enrollment letters, birth certificates, evidence of regular financial support, these all count. Business interests. If you run a business, include your CAC registration documents, recent invoices, and evidence of ongoing operations that require your presence. Community ties. Church membership letters, professional association memberships, or anything showing deep roots in your local community. The more dimensions of your life you can document, the harder it is for an officer to claim you have no reason to come back. Reason 4. Inconsistencies in your application. This one is painful because it's entirely avoidable, but it causes a significant number of refusals. An inconsistency is when one part of your application says something different from another part. For example, your application form says you've never been to the UK before, but there's a UK visa stamp in your old passport that you didn't submit. Or your sponsor says they'll pay for everything, but their bank statement shows they barely have enough for their own rent. Or your letter says you're visiting for tourism, but your itinerary includes attending a business conference. Officers are trained to look for these mismatches. Even a small inconsistency can create enough doubt to tip the decision toward refusal.
The fix. Before submitting, read through your entire application from start to finish, as if you were the officer. Check that every document says the same thing. If you have a sponsor, review their documents alongside yours. If there's anything that looks contradictory, address it proactively in your cover letter. It is far better to explain a discrepancy than to hope the officer doesn't notice it, because they will. Reason 5. Previous refusals or immigration history not handled properly. This is the elephant in the room for many Nigerian and Ghanaian applicants. If you've been refused a UK visa before, or a US visa, or a Canada visa, does that ruin your chances? The honest answer, not automatically, but it does require you to handle it correctly. When the application asks whether you've ever been refused a visa, you must answer truthfully. Hiding a previous refusal is a suitability ground for refusal and can result in a longer ban. Declaring it and then explaining what has changed since the refusal is the right approach. What changes? Maybe your financial situation is now stronger. Maybe you've gained travel history to other countries that demonstrates your compliance with immigration rules. Maybe your professional circumstances are more stable. Explain those changes in your cover letter and support them with evidence. For overstays or previous immigration violations, this is a serious matter and you should speak with an immigration consultant before applying. There are re-entry ban timeframes that affect eligibility. At Walz Travels, we handle these kinds of complex cases regularly. We can assess your specific situation and tell you the best path forward. One of our clients, a business owner from Port Hutker, came to us after 2 previous UK visa rejections. Both times, she had submitted bank statements, but no employer letter, no property documents, and no personal statement. The officer saw money, but no life. We worked with her over 2 weeks to build a proper file, strengthened her financial evidence, added her property documents, wrote a detailed cover letter explaining her business, and submitted a clean, consistent application. She received her 6-month UK visitor visa 3 weeks later. That kind of outcome is possible, but it requires the right preparation. If you've been refused a UK visa and you want to reapply the right way, or if you're applying for the first time and you want expert eyes on your documents before you submit, Walz Travels is here for exactly that. We review your file, we identify the weak points, and we help you fix them before you pay a penny in fees to the Home Office. Message us on WhatsApp, the link is in the description, or book a consultation through our website. Don't forget to grab your free UK visa document checklist in the description. It's a quick, clear reference for everything this video covered. If this helped you, please like this video. It genuinely helps other Nigerians and Ghanaians going through the same thing find this content. Subscribe for more visa guides every week. I'll see you in the next one.